Republicans' messaging on abortion puts Democrats on the defensive. New York Times. Let's see why. With grisly claims that Democrats promote birthday abortions and are the party of death, the Republican Party and its conservative allies have aggressively reset the terms of one of the country's most divisive and emotionally fraught debates, forcing Democrats to reassess how they should respond to attacks and distortions that portray the entire party as extremist on abortion. Hello and welcome to the Tea Party Hardy channel, where the party is just getting started. Current events looked at through a skeptical eye using science, history, and sometimes humor to explore the events of the day. Let's get down to business. Okay, let's look at that again. With grisly claims that Democrats promote birthday abortions. Well, who was it but New Yorkers that a few months ago passed a law saying you can have an abortion up until the moment of birth? And who was it but New Yorkers? Oh, I'm sorry, New York Democrats that passed that. And New York Democrats that literally cheered the passing of the law and lit up skyscrapers with special colors to celebrate, making it possible to kill the baby in the womb, even if it was supposed to be birthed right then, right there. So who's giving us... Yes, that's right, I said us. Tea Party Hardy is against abortion. Who is it that's giving us the grisly meat that allows us the grisly claims? I'm pretty sure that's the Democrats. That they promote birthday abortions because they did, and they do, and they haven't stopped. And are the party of death. I don't even know what that means, so I'm just going to skip that. The Republican Party and its conservative allies have aggressively reset the terms of one of the country's most divisive and emotionally fraught debates. Aggressively reset the terms. Well, let's see, which is worse? Aggressively resetting the terms or aggressively taking out a baby moments before it was supposed to be born? You work on that one. And then, while you're working on that one, discover why it's an emotionally fraught debate. Now, don't get confused. If you happen to be tuning into this video, I have no intention whatsoever of changing your mind. That doesn't work on this. You just have to figure it out in your own heart. Is it worth it? Is it not worth it? The Tea Party Hardy channel stance is this. Drop the euphemisms. That's all we're asking. Drop the euphemisms. Quit pretending that you're aborting something other than your baby. Because that is what you're aborting, and everybody knows it, and the euphemisms are what make this discussion useless. Because if you're going to play in the realms of euphemisms, then you're not telling the truth. And you can't have an actual discussion about actual things if you're not going to discuss it from the point of view of what's really happening. So, yeah. If you want to live in La La Land and go, oh, I'm aborting a nothing, well, go for it. But you're not telling the truth to yourself. And that's fine. All we're saying here is like, look, like Gloria Steinem, she said in an interview in an article recently that, you know, she totally whacked her baby so that she could lead a normal life that she wanted to because it was just darned inconvenient to have a kid. You know what? At least she's telling the truth. She knows what she did, she's proud of what she did, and there you go. I hope she doesn't receive a Mother's Day card. The unusually forceful, carefully coordinated campaign has created challenges that Democrats did not expect as they struggle to combat misinformation. Misinformation. You know, it should be called misinformation, not misinformation under these circumstances, because misinformation is calling it an abortion instead of aborting the fetus that is the baby, or aborting the embryo that is the baby that you're supposed to have, or that you're scheduled to have. Take out the word supposed to. Misinformation is telling people that abortion isn't primarily used as a birth control method. That's misinformation. Misinformation is relying on the concept that if you have really rare abortions at the end, that it's still totally okay. Even though, remember, the argument has been from the Democrats for the last season that it's a decision between a woman and her doctor. Okay, that's not taking into account anything other than, hey, I want to have this because I don't want to have this. I want to have this abortion because I don't want to have this baby. That's the decision they're talking about. They're not talking about a decision of, they don't say it's a decision between a woman and her doctor because of the health of the baby, because of the health. They don't say that. They simply say, these two people are going to chat about killing this baby. And there you go. They're having. So don't talk about misinformation. Talk about misinformation. Yes, that's a feminist joke. It's probably not working. And thwart the efforts to undercut access to abortion. Yes, it is. Because guess what? We're killing millions and millions and millions of Americans. Do you realize the statistic just came out yesterday that said that America is having the lowest birth rate since 1986? The lowest birth rate in America since 1986. Why? Maybe because so many people on the Democrats that celebrate birthday abortions, etc., are like cheering, go get your abortion. You've got actresses like Alyssa Milano, who, by the way, was the model for The Little Mermaid. Go figure. Ariel. Never thought she would go so wrong. But what do you want from a woman with a fish leg? Anyways, they're out there saying, no, you've got to have the right to abortion. There's other people that are saying, it's racist if you don't let blacks kill their own babies. It's racist to not let blacks. Wow. And to think, the lady that actually started Planned Parenthood actually did it on the grounds of to exterminate black people. And now the whites have turned it around and said, oh no, it's racist if you don't let them kill their own babies. Are there black people buying that? Because if there are, wow, did you fit right into Margaret Sanger's total intention from the very beginning? Let them wipe themselves out. It's just horrific. It's just horrific. Okay, anyways. Where'd we leave off? And advocates of abortion rights fear its that's not where we left. Struggle to combat misinformation and thwart the efforts to undercut the access to abortion. Yes. And advocates of abortion rights fear it's succeeding in pressuring lawmakers in more conservative states to pass severe new restrictions. It is severe. They're getting crazy with that. They really are getting crazy with it. In regards to the rape and incest, that now you're getting into horrible situations of now that's tough. That's really tough because the baby didn't do anything wrong, but neither did the mom. That's tough. That's emotionally fraught. Killing your baby because you got knocked up while having a good time and didn't use contraceptives. That's not tough. That's not tough at all. You're being so selfish you want to kill your kid. And why do we allow it? 1 month before birth, 2 months before birth, 3 months before birth, 4 months before birth, 5 months before birth, 6 months before birth, 7 months before birth, 8 months before birth, but we don't allow it 1 month after birth, 2 months after birth, 3 months after birth, 4 months. Yeah, there is no rational argument. There's just not. Oh, because the child is completely dependent on the mother. Take the kid out of the womb and don't feed it. Watch what happens. That kid's still totally dependent on the mother. But we've had these arguments before. I don't want to go on forever about this. The only reason I'm doing this again is because this article came out and it paints the left amazingly in the New York Times as the good guys. And they're not the good guys. Are the right the good guys? Yeah, not when they do the thing with the rape and incest, taking that away. I understand they did it just to get it to the Supreme Court faster, but you're really tinkering with lives in between, and that's kind of not okay. It really isn't. Yeah. When you get down to those two situations of rape and incest, that is a decision for a woman and her closest associates. Not her freaking doctor, the executioner. No. That is a discussion for the woman and her closest associates, whomever that is. Because that's tough. But a woman and her doctor? No, just spell it out. Woman and her freaking executioner. Okay. And considering his job is to kill babies, or her job is to kill babies, I'm pretty sure they're going to come down on that. Well, it's no problem. I can schedule it at 12:35 if you want. Initially, many Democrats and abortion rights groups believed that the notion was, they're talking about Trump talking about the infanticide. Well, it is freaking infanticide. Side, death, infant, bingo, mission accomplished. Okay, again, this is not going to change anybody's mind whatsoever. If you believe in this stuff, then you're already going rah, rah, rah. And if you don't believe in it, you've already tuned out. So I'll just leave it at that. I would make the plea to those of you that are still here. When you're discussing the subject, be gentle about it. But at the same time, be honest about it. Don't bury the conversation in euphemisms, because then you're not having an actual discussion. You're telling a fairy tale. And fairy tales are awesome, but not when you're dealing with a life. We hope you enjoyed the content, and if you did, feel free to like, subscribe, come on back anytime. You're always welcome here as part of the family, and we'll see you in the future.